Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome to an earlier match preview for the game against Leeds United. But is the focus on Leeds United? That's the name of the podcast. You know what I mean? The match preview focus is all on the Glazer protest and not Leeds. But we're going to get into that. We've got Statman and Adam in the building. Statman, how's it going, bro? Feeling good in there?
Listen, after seeing that Arsenal protest, I'm hopeful for tomorrow. Because that Arsenal protest, as people are saying in the comments, is mad.
Madness, people. You get me?
So
Just goes to show, man.
Them.
Power to the people. Power to the people. It's going crazy. We're gonna watch it after the show. Hopefully, you get me, and take our thoughts and whatnot. But big up everybody that's tuning in right now. Smash a like on the video. Adam, everything all right over there?
Yeah, mate, absolutely mental week on it, mate. Just give myself a couple of days off just to get myself prepared for this weekend. It's going to be absolutely crazy, mate.
Yeah, man. Callum says here, banners are ready, Glazers out. Over 10,000 people. Boy, listen, we're going to get into that, people. Protest talk is going to happen. But right now, we got our guys from 5 Yards. As you can see, top right-hand corner, they have kindly sponsored the video for today. And 5 Yards have given me a task. They want me to step into the shoes of United director, Ed Woodward, the one who's out the door, the one who's been vanquished, the one we'll never forget. And they want me to kind of fill the void in United summer. So I'm going to use 5 Yards right now. I'm going to show you the screen, people, and I'm going to show you what they're all about. If I can get it up right now. 5 Yards, effectively, people, is an online transfer market where fans can buy, sell, scout football talent around the world. What is great there is that transfer markets are priced at most accurate available, so they reflect the real performances and life values. Generally love the concept. For me, I can see bits of it that I'm thinking, look at that Kylian Mbappe right there, 201 million valued right now. I mean, Statman, you going after him? What do you reckon? 201 million? What favors you right there? You're looking at the Sancho one right there?
It's tempting, but looking at Sancho, the saga last year, I love Sancho. I'm so invested into that saga still. I want Sancho.
Yeah, man. Big up to everybody. Everyone can see that right now. Make sure you go check it out, people. So we're going to delve into one play. Yeah, man. Crazy, people. Also, what I like about this, you can scout the players, so you can see it's about them. So you get scouting records, you know what I mean, and select key things you want to buy, sell, and whatnot. You know what I mean? You can just look at their player performance this season. Mbappe, absolutely brilliant. Look at the goals, 23 goals, 7 assists this season. And also, you know what I mean, you can have shares and kind of things on players. And then next thing you know, you got the leaderboard here. You're looking at Osoya right there. William doing very well on their scout report. So get involved, people. And let me know what player you wanted me to choose. Adam, I'm going to go over you. What you reckon we should go for a position right now?
Hey, you don't even have to ask me, do you, mate? You know exactly what my position is. We're going CDM, mate. CDM all the way.
We're going for Ndidi, right?
I like Ndidi.
Right, let's go for
Ndidi. And Ndidi, 32 million. Get him now.
32 million. You know what I mean? That's the current price right now. This season, Ndidi. You know what I mean? What do you reckon, the Statman?
Statman, you got to say there. What's he worth with United tax on him, though?
United tax.
Yeah, exactly. What's he worth for United tax?
What were we saying? 60, 70 million for Ndidi?
Yeah,
he's not English.
But yeah, man, people get involved. What's it called? 5 Yards. I've kindly sponsored this video. Link in the description below. You know what I mean? Easy. Make sure you go check it out, people. But for me, yeah, when I look at that, guys, yeah, you know what I mean? In terms of the scouting report, I just think for me, it's an amazing thing where you can get involved and you can scout players and whatnot. But every week, people, we're gonna see what different players we can get on there and whatnot. But for me, that's the key. What I want, man. I want to get a kind of a CDM in there. I think for me, Adam, CDM's key this summer, right?
Yeah, massive, mate. It's like a big jigsaw puzzle for us, mate. That CDM. Everyone else starts playing better and probably to the full potential as soon as you get a CDM in there. I think that's what it is. It's the link from defence, to midfield, to then be able for our forwards to then flourish, mate. That's what that is. CDM is like a massive piece in our jigsaw that's scrambled at the moment, mate. We get that, then we can start properly building, mate. We can start making a team.
Declan Rice is about available at what? 37 million. Obviously, United tax included. this is what you can get right now in terms of, you know, if you were to go and get these kind of players on, so you can make actually a login for this, and you can create your own scout reports and build your player up. Obviously, the better it is, so you can get youngsters in there. So maybe a kind of a player like Camavinga or something like that. Let's see what Camavinga is actually in for here. I'm gonna chuck it now. 45 million. Statman, what do you reckon? Is that something that you would look for?
I think he has a year left on his contract or something, or he might not sign a new contract. So that's tempting. That's tempting if I was United.
Yep. I'm going to go track him right now, man. You know what I'm saying to you? End of the day right now, he's on 76. Potential 94 people. That's crazy,
age,
man.
Innit? Age.
Yeah, man. 100%, man.
Absolutely
crazy
young.
people. Absolutely, man. But people, if you want to get involved in all of that, you get me. Make sure you go check it out. 5 yards, link in the description. Go check them out, man. You know what? They've hooked me up or whatnot, and they're kindly sponsoring this video. Go check them out. Link in the description. But obviously, we're going to move over to the protest at the minute at Arsenal. Protest.
Someone's unconscious there on the floor on the Arsenal protest. Yeah, it's live now, man. That's what you don't need. How is that happening at a protest when you're all supposed to be as one?
Now, we even saw it with the Livs live thing before, when the guy wanted the Sky Sports interview. Like, you're meant to be united as a fan base. And we saw it with Don Robbie and Ray Parlour today on TalkSport. They were just trying to create division in the fan base.
Man, that was for me absolutely disgraceful, man. You know what I mean? The whole point of what TalkSport do is to get people to phone in and pay their hard-earned money and basically rant whatever they want, and they encourage it. And then they have the indecency to say, you know what? Yeah, you guys are making money out of this football club. Well, if Arsenal are playing well, then reflect Arsenal playing well. You know what I mean?
It's funny, mate, isn't it? Right, it's funny you should say that, mate. I mean, because I listen to TalkSport every day, and they're actually streaming on YouTube and Twitter now for their radio shows. So for them to slag people and YouTubers off on what they're doing, they're just doing exactly the same thing. Talking about football and streaming it for people live. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because they're just this big company. They've got like this God-given right that whatever they say, and the fact that they cut people off, Joe, when they get into the point, these big broadcasters, they just cut people off and don't give them a chance. So,
and the thing is, they always say like fan channels are benefiting off losses. Fan channels make videos when we win. Robbie makes videos when we win or when they win, kind of thing. It's not like he's going to stop when they lose or when they win. So that's just a silly argument, a lazy argument from him.
I just think for me, Ray Parlour, man, he's a bit, you know, I don't know if he's got links to the football club or whatnot.
He does.
Or he's trying to
mate, he's employed. He's employed by Talk Sports, mate. He's a regular. He's employed by him. So you know, they've had Robbie on before, and they set him up with Simon Jordan. Just to basically shoot him down. They set it up for him to have a fall. He gave as good as he got, but their opinion of the fan channels is that we're poison. That's how they see it. They just see it their way, and I don't see. I mean, the other day when they were talking about owners and the world of football was threatened, they were bringing Robbie on and all these other channels commenting, saying how bad it was and advertising it as a good thing. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden it goes the other way. It's whatever suits them, mate. That's what it is.
And also when there's anything involved in racism and whatnot, they go and call Robbie and they go and call him and tell him about his experience and whatnot. TalkSport come up, and then they come up on the next time and say, you know what, you man are making money at this football club. So end of the day, man, I just don't understand these guys. They come up to us, they feed off what we do, and then they try and make it into their interest, mate. It's absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But for me, let's not give any TalkSport kind of, you know, promo on this channel.
Let me just say this here. Ray Parlour is an idiot as well, because he's been on Arsenal Fan TV numerous amount of times. So you're telling
Has he been on there? I've not seen him on there, man. Has he been on?
I think
he has been on there 3 times, apparently.
I think I saw Troops is like he tweets somewhere like Ray Parlour's been on tours with Arsenal before in the past. He's not going to pay for that by himself. The club are paying for it. So you clearly have some links with the club that you don't want to ruin. That's all it is.
Yeah. I've always thought it was a laddie lad type, man, this Ray Parlour. You know what I mean? Yeah. He looks like he just...
He's got, you know what I mean? The Romford Pele. You know what I mean? He's got this thing, he's a joker of the pack. He's usually all right. I mean, I've not heard how it went down, but to be honest, this was probably set up by Talk Sports more than Ray Parlour going out after a fan channel. And I said that this was set up for an argument. And when it's like when people come in here, when we talk over channels and disagreement, but the same thing, except it's Ray Parlour, it's on TalkSport, and an headline can be made out of it. That's what it is. We all talk, we all fall out, we all disagree. It's just the fact that they've set it up probably knowing that there's already going off what they've researched and what Robbie said and how he sees it, and knowing what Ray said, put it together, let's make a show and let's just try and divide this fan base and make more headlines while everything's just up in smoke.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And for me, I see that turnout tomorrow. Yes, so it's today at Arsenal. Gives you hope, man, Adam, doesn't it? You know what I mean? That if you stick together and unite, mate, we could do it. All this tribalism, all this elitism, you know what I mean? A lot of people coming out today thinking they're
mate, it's all crap. I mean, anyone who's come out, sorry for cutting you off, mate, but it just riles me, like you said. I can hear it in your voice, mate, there as well. It's like, it doesn't matter who organises it, yeah? It's all for the same cause. So, you know what? We'll be there tomorrow. And we'll be there next week as well.
And we'll be there next week, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we do everything we can. And for people to stay and start picking up their sort of taking sides, who's doing this better, who's doing that better, then really you're going to look at it and go, well, this is exactly why people like the Glazers will win. If you haven't got a harmonious protest and a harmonious fan base going against them, then how the hell is it going to work?
It's like yesterday.
Bang your neck in, get on with it.
You see, yesterday, fans broke in. You're telling me no other, like the rest of the fan base didn't know they were going to do a protest. Let people know. Just because you live in Manchester doesn't mean like you're the head of the club or something. Like you say, you're like the gatekeepers of the club. Let people know.
Yeah, that's what I mean, man.
Yesterday.
Doesn't give a good look, man, for the fan base for me when you try to do all this stuff and you try to say, well, we're the gatekeepers, we go to the we go to the game all the time. Your opinion is not relevant or whatnot. For me, I don't like that nonsense, man. You know what I mean? And I just look at what's happening right now, and I look at the fact that maybe the Glazers have seen this and thinking, you know what, man, they can't even sort of don't mess out, Adam. They can't even like be as a fan base and come together, rivalry, put everything aside tomorrow. And just focus on what you've got. They can't even do that, man. And for me, how are we ever going to achieve any greatness if you're not going to do this? You know?
This is it, man. Look at Arsenal. They reported 25,000 there. 25,000. You know what? If there was one club out of all this who haven't got a lot to moan and complain about, it's probably them. Do you know what I mean? I heard people like Martin Keown on TalkSport again. Yes, I know. But today he was there saying the fans have every right to go and protest. I will back them no matter what. Who are we to say and tell the fans what to do? That is a man who understands the football club and he understands the fan base. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Gary Neville said the same thing about United. You know what? It's like it's time now to drive them out. And you know what? If it takes 2 protests, if it takes more, if it takes stop going to United and buying merchandise, if it stops subscribing to anything, if it stops everything, then every United fan has to come together and do it. Well, at the end of the day, we have to still think about, you know what, not everyone at this football club is wrong here. Ollie and the players aren't in the wrong here. They've just been completely dropped in the muck by their owners and Ed Woodward's. And you know what, we still have to back the players. You know what I mean? These are our players. We've got the connection with these players. And this is what we have to do. I mean, I think every single one of them players in that squad would be absolutely, without being able to come out and say anything, would be right behind what we're doing as fan base. Whether it be tomorrow, whether it be next weekend. They understand. You don't get a reaction like this from professional footballers and managers. And we've heard every single manager come out. All the players come out and condemn it.
Yeah, fair play to Ollie, you know what I mean? He's come out and he said it. He said, you know what? The fans have to voice their opinion. Ollie, I mean, the Arteta, you know what I mean? I've voiced the feeling. Statman won't be there, I think. You know what I mean? But, you know, I just want to see a United fan base. And that's why, for me, when you look at this game, man, does this Leeds game have any effect? You know what I mean? When reality, our heads are kind of thinking of different things, man.
We need it, mate, don't we? We need a little bit of a getaway from this week. We need some football back in our lives, don't we? We need to find a bit of normality. And you know what? They absolutely dropped a bollock with this football club this week because we've had nothing to talk about but this. The first week off we have in how many months, and they decide to do it this week. Shows how much they care. Do you know what I mean? What this shows to me is, what this shows the owners, and the worrying fact is the fact that they were shocked, and that was their words. They were shocked at the reaction. If they think this, if they're reacting in a shocked manner because of what the fans are doing right now, that shows you how disconnected they are from this sport. That shows, because that's every single one of them American owners, Spurs, United, Arsenal, Liverpool. All the owners have said the same things. We did not expect it. You didn't expect it. You wanted to cheat the league and take the game away. That shows you exactly how much they pay attention to the clubs that they own and what this sport means to everyone in this country.
I think they knew they were going to get some backlash, but I think what they were surprised about was how Sky, BT went after them. Because let's be honest here, the only reason Sky, BT, Gary Neville, all these lot went after them was because they were going to they weren't going to benefit financially from this. That's the only reason. Exactly. I was surprised how Sky, BT, they weren't no unbiased commentary over the story. They were just no, this is a disgrace, kind of thing. So I think that was surprising from the club's point of view.
But imagine that's the stat man there, though, mate. If that Super League all went ahead, which companies are going to be right at the front of the queue for broadcasting rights?
Sky and BT.
Exactly, mate. So they can say this and say that and big it up all this and all they want, but at the end of the day, you know what? They'd have been first there. And what's to say, if they didn't change the format of that Super League, that a lot more people might have been starting to get behind it. What if they brought in a relegation and a promotion?
Yeah.
And people started to go, oh, me, you want more money. I mean, if you can come into it by merit, then...
Yeah.
See, that's what
my principle has always been the Glazers, though. My principle has always been the Glazers, how they've just gone behind our backs and just did this without any accountability.
They dragged our club through the mud, mate. That's what they've done. Absolutely destroyed our reputation. I'm not surprised sponsors aren't pulling out of this football club right now.
Is that the next step for you, sponsors? Imagine that stat, man. Sponsors, you know what I mean? Say
Liverpool's,
go on.
Liverpool's watch sponsor or something dropped out the other day. That surprised me because at that point, Liverpool had dropped out the Super League. So it clearly shows the sponsors are a bit wary of this.
Thing is, though, it's like sponsors, mate. So, I mean, what Statman said, their sponsors, a simple thing like a watch sponsor. And it's, you know what, their customers are the Liverpool fans. Do you know what I mean? And if the fans are disgusted in a football club, this is it. If Adidas are finding out that United fans are going to boycott going to the megastore and sales are down and all this replica stuff starts taking off, then Adidas are going to come down on the football club. I just don't think, I think the PR of it all and everything was an absolute, I mean, it was just a disaster from the word go, mate. It was absolutely ridiculous. And you said then the Glazers, mate. The Glazers have just got no connection at all. They've got no idea about this football club. Absolutely no idea. And the fact that the main people, the people that built this, and now we're looking at Ed Woodward and the excuse to come out with for Ed Woodward, he was already going in the summer. That's a load of bollocks. He's gone because he's just absolutely made a balls up. And you know what? And that shows you our exact problem, that no one at our club has any football knowledge or a football brain at the highest level of this football club.
None.
That shows you exactly what happens
and
when there's no football brain in our boardroom.
And Neil Asher's working in overtime, bringing excuses saying that, Ed Woodward was against the idea of the thingy. Exactly.
You know what I'm surprised? If Ed Woodward, just blame him. He's going to leave the club. Take the blame off the Glazers if you're actually going to do it. So just chuck him under the bus. But they're not doing that, which is a bit weird. Which is why I'm like, it's probably Ed Woodward's people around him, like his friends or family, leaking stuff out to the press and stuff. That's all it can be, because the club should be chucking him under the bus to protect their image.
Exactly.
But they've already come out and backed him, haven't they, publicly, saying out what good he's done for the football club. It's, you know what, it's
crazy times we're living in, though. It's crazy times we're living in, people, man. Arsenal owner and Man United, I think they're the two that are, for me, on the brink. Them two owners. If fans can build momentum, we could be looking at history where Man United and Arsenal have new owners. And people are saying, but it will never happen. I'm telling you now, if the exposure is there, and if they see that this is happening week in, week out, Every time it's happening, every club. You know, when you change the environment and the environment changes, and you kind of it's very hostile. It's not a good place to be in, though, Adam, is it? You know, when you realize how it affects the players, it will affect the manager's performances, and then it'll get exposed even more and more.
It's like we've got a bounty on our head now. Every football club, when United turn up now, it's going to be like, these are the cheating bastards. You know what? It gives the players extra incentive. Have you seen it with Leeds the other day? They walked out with them shirts on with pride. And you know what? They're already our biggest rivals. And now we've got to come up against them in their backyard. Mate, our players now have to go to another level of concentration and professionalism. Do you know what I mean? Because Leeds are gunning for us. We've seen what they did to Liverpool. I know what I mean. It's just they've just thrown the coaching staff, all there, the players, they've thrown them all under the bus, and now they have to take the flak for it, because that's the last we're going to hear from the Glazers. That is it. And I heard the news today about the names that are being touted. It's official that we are looking for an out of club, which, thank Christ, finally.
I heard it was going to be Matt Judge, man. I was getting scared.
It's not. It's not going to be him. It's not going to be any of them two, apparently, from what I'm hearing anyway. It is going to be someone. I mean, the Norwich guy has been touted. I think Webber. They are looking for an out of club not promotion. Not what I'm looking for. An out of club person to come in and take this job on. Someone with football knowledge who has been around Premier League boardrooms and is well up on how things are dealt with in the Premier League. A bit of experience. It's smart. It's sensible. It's the obvious thing to do, when the obvious thing is what United never do with stuff like this. So maybe their hands have been forced. They're going to start doing it for how long? But how long before it goes back to where we are now again? Everything gets settled down again.
See, right now, I can't trust anything the club are going to say. Like,
I don't, mate.
It could be an out club improvement. I think that's just the club leaking stuff out to appease the fan base. That's all it probably is.
What's that? Say that again.
Like, just the club leaking stuff out to like please the fan base, kind of thing. Just to make sure like all this club backlash to kind of calm down, because we're going to get someone like a Van der Sar or something. That's all I think.
No chance. I don't think we'll get a Van der Sar. Van der Sar knows what the problem is. Apparently, it's his dream job or whatever. I've heard that mentioned. But if he stepped into United, he'd go, what's going on here? Because he's used to being involved in a club that's properly run. And when there's no clear footballing sort of tactics and footballing outlook on the way the football club's being run, then Van der Sar goes out. He's not a money-making man. He's a football man. And that's what we haven't got. Yep. So there's a balance here now between actual football and making the club progress, or is it all about promoting the financial side of things again? Because we all heard what one of the board members arrogantly came out and said regarding what we actually want. They've said it. You know what? It's there out in public. They can't deny it anymore. One of their owners come out and said we're more bothered about profit margins and revenues. So whatever they do now, it's just basically to appease this storm of fans, and then they'll hope that it dies down, which it naturally has to do, and then they'll just start going back to normal again. And
so this is why I'm surprised with the Arsenal thing, because when like everything broke down on like Tuesday or Wednesday, I said to Rance, let's see how many fans turn up, because by then it could have like the hype around the Super League, anger around the like Glazers could have been calmed down. Could have been calmed down about Kroenke. But fair play, Arsenal fans turned out today. United fans need to step up now.
Yes, people still on, man. 3 p.m. tomorrow, man. I just look at, I think this will be the start of something, you know what I mean, amazing, Adam, you know what I mean? Probably the start of the beginning of the end for the Glazers, mate, in terms of having...
That's what we hope, mate.
You know, let's hope we hope, man, and let's hope that tomorrow we can absolutely do something against Man United, against
silver lining, mate. We've got a silver lining out of all this, mate. We make our voices heard, we make it uncomfortable. We can do our bit. As little as effect as that has, it's still, we are coming together as a fan base, and then we'll make them know, make them realise that we will not take this sitting down. But do you know what I mean? It's like that. The Premier League aren't going to go out of our way for United now. Not a cat in hell's chance, mate. They are going to be... I mean, I'm talking about all sorts with that when I do my video later on, but Premier League aren't going to be going out of the way for us anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? So you look at sponsors, things like that. They physically right now are at the maximum. They have peaked in terms of what they can get out of this football club, because there's no more extra revenues coming in. They were banking on this, mate. They were planning on this while we were all down on our asses when the world was on its knees.
Yeah.
And this has failed for them. So right now, I'm looking at this, the silver lining. They've imploded within themselves. They've got too greedy and it's backfired. I don't think they can make any more money now out of United than what they're already making unless they sell.
Apparently,
and that is the ultimate
But
hope.
I think what I would say, I
Apparently
think
the
the Super
team.
League idea is going to be reformed. They're going to come back with a Super League idea eventually. Like Florentino Perez already said that. So we still need to be wary what these people do.
They do, but it's like now the Champions League now have completely changed their format. So that's in place now, and you know what that is? UEFA just as bad, really, because all that's doing is generating more money. It's making the players play more. It's getting more sponsorships for UEFA. It's more games, and they'll say you can earn more money from it because there's more games. They're guaranteed 10 games. But even 10 games before you get to the next stage. God, I mean, how are we going to fit that in? So UEFA are just as bad. I mean, UEFA are on our side simply because they were losing money from this.
I know,
not because it's wrong. Yeah. They were losing money, so that's why they were on our side. Let's not kid ourselves.
And the thing is, we know UEFA pay these top 6 clubs. I think there were reports the next day that they did that to make sure they come back. It's all about money. We shouldn't be surprised.
David Hatton there. What do you say to this question? I respect to you know, David Hatton for coming on and whatnot, but how do you? Because for me, when I look at these kind of questions, I always say to myself, you know, what's the point of even trying then? Why are we having these conversations? Why do you watch Man United then? Are we here to think about the unthinkable? That's what football's about, right? You have to think about things that, you know, you never know that could happen. And for me, if you're not going to battle against this cause, Statman, what's the point of us being here then? What's the point of us ever progressing? If you want to be, for me, it's got to that point where if Man United want to get back to winning Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues and whatnot, the Glazers have to go. I'll be honest with you. That's all
I don't think we'll win. I don't think we'll win a Champions League or a league title under the Glazer ownership. I really don't. I think it needs structure for that.
He was a genius, Ferguson. A one-off genius.
He already had people in place. Yeah, he already had people in place, didn't he, that were working for him. He had his team above him. The fact that we have chopped and changed managers so much is the reason why I don't see it working under the Glazers. They need to let a team come in with a manager like Pep did.
Yeah.
So I mean, the communication that Klopp had, until all this broke down, with his CEO and the ownership at Liverpool, that's what it needs. That's what it needs to actually progress. As a football club, you need structure from top to bottom. Liverpool don't seem like they've got it now. Arsenal definitely don't have it. Spurs have just pissed theirs all up the wall with the new stadium. United are even worse than all of them, because as much as they'll say, we spent $1 billion since Sir Alex Ferguson left, we didn't have a CEO in place to make sure that was done right. So I don't think the Glazers will want to spend any more money, let alone.
I think
and again, more questions will be raised. But they won't, though, Satman. That's the thing, though. They won't. Don't spend now. Now they've not got Woodward on their side, who, for me, mastermind what they did and how they made money. You know, they've got no business interest in Man United now. And I think for me, it's sell or nothing.
It depends what happens from now to the end of the season. If fans are protesting week in, week out, then this club are going to spend. We see it every single summer. We saw it in the January transfer window. When the club were under pressure from the fans, they signed Bruno Fernandes. All that Glazers, that talk went straight away. We see it every single summer.
I never know. That's the problem. I don't think I did as well. We kept going.
Us lot are the hardcore fans. The casual fans will only talk about Glazers out when it's the transfer window most of the time. And right now, the entire football world is talking about it, kind of thing. That's the only people that will talk about Glazers out.
Yeah. Victor Liang says here, big up to Victor, goes Konate to Liverpool. Apparently, it's just been confirmed. Konate to Liverpool. Here we go.
It's confirmed.
Fabrizio Romano's put that. You know what I mean? Again, you know what I mean? Good timing from FSG, right?
Exactly. There's a JP Henry sort of reaction right there, isn't it? Pressure cooker.
You see that Konate thing? The signing. That's exactly what I just said. The clubs know what they're doing.
Yeah. They know what they're doing, man. They pushed that hard. Maybe on the last couple of, maybe 24 hours. They said, "Yo, listen, we'll pay you maybe 15 million extra behind closed doors. We'll give you a couple of players, mate." They've done that, mate. That's very cheeky, people.
We knew this Canate thing was happening like 2 or 3 months ago. But the announcement now, that's what I'm saying. These clubs know when to do anything just to make the fans happy, just to keep them on side.
Oh, mate, the whole week they've been planning. Every single one of these clubs has been planning something that they can do to try and deflect the reality.
Yeah.
And that's it. I thought one of her saying smoke bombs for tomorrow had gone off there. I could hear the fire alarm going.
I think Wood was in his house, man. Someone would fire out, in the alarm. We got, by the way,
they're outside already.
Yeah, man. By the way, we've got 400 people watching live. People, smash the like on the video. Let's get 200 likes, people. So you haven't liked the video already, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're road to 30k people. Literally, we're closing touches of 30k. But Adam, man, tomorrow mentality in terms of the game against on Sunday, man. You know what I mean? Statman again, sort your alarm out, mate. You know what I mean? But in terms of the game on Sunday, man, does it have any? Do you feel like a bit weird, like even watching football anymore? Like I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I feel like it's I don't know. I'm not gonna be like I was celebrating, but I won't be like enthusiastic anymore this season unless I know that something's really changing behind the scenes. I just feel like we've been stabbed, yeah. And when someone's done something to you and you take a while to forgive them, mate. I don't know, man.
This is it, mate. This is it. I mean, I think when we go into the game, I think it will be that ultimate, like you just said then. We'll be thinking, God, is this really worth it? Feels like a pointless game, but as it goes along, I think we'll slowly come around to it. It's still going to take a few weeks, mate. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a week what we've got now with Leeds, Liverpool sandwich with Roma in the semi-final of the Europa League. I mean,
big week.
If anything, it was a perfect week for us to try and get over something like this. You know what? Two of our massive rivals. And I think it's going to be one of them, mate. We're going to feel like we just get taken by the game and we end up talking about the game more because it's there. But ultimately, after the game, we're just going to go back. Yeah, there's still scheming, cheating bastards that are owning this football club are still going to be doing the same thing. It's maybe tomorrow when we've got a lot off our chests and we've sort of shouted and said our piece and done what we've got to do. Maybe we'll feel a little bit better, but it's like you said, not one person has talked about a football player this week, the whole week. I've not talked about anything player related, manager related, tactics. Going back to the game, looking forward to it. You know what I mean? We've got a game this weekend in the cup final where fans are back. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, mate.
It doesn't feel like it matters. Really, we should be looking at that and going, Steve, this is the moment. This is the moment when we're supposed to be getting back.
Steve on a big six, big to Steve. He goes, he's telling us he might rip his ticket up on the Don Robbins show live on the Don Robbins show on Sunday. He's gonna rip it up. You know what I mean? Because it's like they've betrayed us. So for final, paid money for that, and he's gonna because apparently what you got to do is you got to go in a COVID bus. You've got to do lots of stuff. You got to take a test beforehand. It's crazy what they've done just to actually get you a ticket, man. It's crazy, but
I think what I say about that, he's already paid his money, so the club still benefit from it. The owner still benefit from it.
But that was before. Problem. To be fair, though, he bought it before everything was broken. Yeah. So you know what I mean. So you can't really blame him or whatnot. Victor Lian goes, Canate 35 million release clause. Why can't Man United pay that? The Van der Sar CEO. Big up to the crew. I don't know. For me, the Canate one, I'm not really bothered about Canate because I think it's injury prone as it is. Yeah. But he's a good option. You know what I mean, and whatnot. But I don't know, man. It is for me, Man United. Yeah, that Sancho deal might be the softener for every United fan. We look at the young fan base we've got now on Twitter, Adam. That might mean soft sweetness. Say, you know what, guys, you've got your Sancho now. That's it. That's your poster boy now. Go get the Sancho t-shirts out. Then we sell out the Sancho t-shirt. Record revenue. Fans are back in the stadium. Record revenue. It's, you know what, man. If we don't take action now, Adam, man, it's now or never. Because if they get the upper hand on us, that's it. The whole thing could fall on its feet, mate. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
I mean, I don't even know what the upper hand is anymore. I don't know what their plan is. If their plan is to carry on the way we're going, then where can you see it go? I mean, we've talked about the progression side of things. Yeah, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're talking about taking dividends out in the middle of a pandemic and a recession. You're talking about planning on taking our game away and cheating the league that we've grew up watching and planning all of this while we were on our knees. It's going to take. There's nothing that they can do. The only thing that the Glazers can do that convinces me that it will change under them is that they go out and clear that debt and they start proportionately investing the money that this club makes back in to the football club, which is never, ever going to happen. The businessmen and what they will say is, look, you're making progression. We've got a good team right now. And you would say, since Ferguson left, Ed Woodward and Ollie Solskjaer, probably the most profitable partnership that the Glazers have had. And now they've pissed that up the wall by blowing this out by blowing this Super League up. So Ed Woodward's gone now. There's no way he would have been going unless this happened. So for me, there's no way under the Glazers that we win anything. Anything significant, that is. I just don't see it. I don't see us going to that next level. And I don't see them ever clearing that debt. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Now, the thing is here,
the best thing they can do is sell it.
The Glazers, with the Glazers, it's kind of like, they know they're not footballing people. Hire footballing people to help you. That's all it is.
But they want to do that, though. Then they'll get exposed, though. They get exposed, though.
Just say we had a Van der Sar or something. We could actually win something. Because the thing is, this is what I always say, you don't need to spend big. You don't need these Hollywood names every single time. You don't. In this summer, if we had signed Buendia from Norwich instead of Edison Cavani, I guarantee you now we'll be looking like a better side. Because Buendia is a creative winger. We need that more instead of a shirt seller like Edison Cavani. And I'm not saying Edison Cavani, but that's all he is. That's why he was brought in.
Let me just read this super chat. He goes, G Cassie goes, if I was at all of Man United, I'd just buy Sancho. The majority of fans will remain quiet. You're not wrong, mate. We're just gonna read this. We're gonna big up their league gunner, by the way. This chat here. I want to chat about this because this is a kind of it's a touchy subject. You know what I mean? He goes, Arsenal might as well let our stadium for the game. There's holes there. If only it works out, lower spends a penny on tickets and merchandise. This is a difficult one for me, Adam. Right? See. Is there an argument to say you can love United more than you hate the Glazers? Is there an argument to say that in terms of when people say that's sorry?
That's reality, mate. That's what it is.
That's reality. And you know what it is, right? I understand the feeling of, you know what, if every single season ticket holder gave up their season ticket, you know what, them Glazers would have been gone. You know what I mean? If you're in reality, when you look at it, even if you maybe talked about memberships, there's a lot of people that get memberships as well. My feeling is, man, it's that I love this football club more than I hate the Glazers. And I want to see my football club play at the ground. You know, I'm not a person who watches it. You know, it's been killing me watching it at home. But I think you could do both. I really, really think you could do both. For me, anyway, I don't buy merchandise. I'm not going to lie to these people. I've not wore it for 3 years. And Adam will vouch for that. I bought it. The last time I bought a something there was for a training kit top back in 2017, people. I've not bought one merch since, And I'll be real with you. In terms of the season ticket for me, this is a touchy subject. And I feel like for me, it's one of them, man, where I love this football club that much, man. You know what I mean? I want to see Man United play every week in, week out. I want to see them. But at the same time, I'm thinking, also, I'm contributing to the Glazers in terms of giving them money. But the problem is, I give my money and whatnot to Man United, the club I love. I know it means that I'm giving it to the Glazers. But it just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to get your opinion on this, Adam and Statman, but giving your season tickets, giving your season ticket to the Glazers and whatnot. What do you make it? What do you say to the people like, you know, I think Lee maybe is trying to say you are giving your money effectively to the Glazers, and hence why they'll always stay. What's your opinion on that one? Because it's a touchy subject. My one was, I would have gave up my season ticket if Man United were in the Super League. That's for me a detrimental thing in terms of they've just literally stabbed me in the back there.
But the fact
that we're back, go on.
The problem is, if you give it away, someone else is going to take it anyway.
I understand. I understand that point.
So you might as well benefit from it and make content at the stadium.
No. My thing is, I'm not so bothered about someone will take my ticket. I believe that if I'm in the stadium, I can voice my opinion more than a person who takes my ticket and is happy to be there. So imagine, right, we have a stadium and the full stadium, we all walk out after maybe 70th minute. 70th minute. and we do walkouts. Maybe we have banners out. Maybe we make ourselves known in voice and whatnot. I just want to create this feeling of uncomfortable, making it uncomfortable for the owners. That's what I want to do. That's the first level of stage. Then you keep going up and up and up and going up the levels.
But
right now, we've not had a protest for 10 yeyears.
If you're doing walkouts, you still gone into the stadium and paid money to get into the stadium. So they still got their financial benefit from that.
No, I understand that. I understand that. That's why I keep going back to the point of, do you love the club more than you love the Glazers and you hate the Glazers? Listen, I hate the Glazers, but the problem is I support Man United Football Club. Every fan has a right here to watch Man United Football Club. And everyone's been doing it for 10 years. We can't have this. Go on.
This is it, Saeed, mate. The problem we've got is we aren't like the people who've never been. We aren't like the people who don't go to the games. And this is no disrespect to any one particular Manchester United fan or any fan of any club in the world. You are born where you are born, and you support who you support. You're born into a club, and that club grafts you, it takes you. We are privileged to be able, by living in Manchester, to go to every single game. We are, and that's our way of life. That's just how we know it. Everyone around the world, I have people on my channel from all over the world, and they can watch every single Premier League game for, £100 a year. Do you know what I mean, mate? We have to go home and pay Sky, pay BT, pay Amazon. The club is making more money than people watching it on TV in this country than the ones who are going to the game. So is everyone saying, hang your season ticket up, and then, all right then, well, you stop watching BT. You stop paying BT subscription. You stop paying Sky. You stop paying Amazon, because that's where the money's coming. This is where the Glazers are pushing it. And also, the reason they were going over to the Super League is because they were selling their own rights to watch this, and they would have been charging every single one of them other fans around the world 30, 40 quid. It would have been pay-per-view. That's where the money was coming in. So we're basically like a smoke alarm in Statman's apartment right now. That's what we're like Ollie right now. We're in an impossible situation, mate. We're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. You know what I mean? Because deep down to us, if we give up our tickets, we feel like we're letting the players down. We feel like we're letting the manager down. We feel like we're not supporting our team, whereas the club is benefiting. So really, you could call it a club versus team sort of conundrum. That's what it is. We want to support the players. I can't support my team from a TV screen at home. It doesn't work for me. I've been forced into it.
Yeah, and also that analogy could come down to players and Statman. If you say I'm supporting the players, then effectively you're supporting the club because you're supporting the team. Then, so then where's the stopgap there? For me, I don't understand that. I'm confused because I feel like for me, there's never going to be any kind of leveling point. You know what I mean? Everyone can say whatever, but I just feel like if you're doing something, it's better than doing nothing. And there's a lot of people who are talking and saying, you know what, I want the Glazers out or whatnot. But I'm asking you, what's your plan then? Our plan could be go to the protest and make
look at what Hector Rico says in the comments there. He's on my channel as well. Just look at that. We'll go to Hector Rico. It's as simple as that. Yeah. £5 a month. It's easy, and no disrespect to anyone, it's easy to say we should stop and give up our way of life when theirs is so, ain't so cheap to watch. I'm trying not to make that sound disrespectful in any way. But it's awkward for us because this is what we've got. We can't watch any football without paying through the teeth. We are ripped off. So everyone around the world wants us to give up what we've got.
Saying, a lot of people are saying,
for the sake of it.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying streams and whatnot. Not everyone has the best internet. You know what I mean? Then you're watching a laggy stream. I'm not a person who preferably watches football, which is about 5 minutes behind actual real time. It's an uncomfortable situation, people. And I feel like for me, it's one of the situations where, you might have a falling out with your brother. So imagine you had a falling out with your brother, Adam, and it's absolutely, disowned you. But he needs about 10 grand, and it's life or death. What are you going to do, Adam? You're going to give him that 10 grand, aren't you? You know what I mean? So end of the day, man, people, you got to realize, man, it's an uncomfortable situation. My opinion is, I think I could do both. I'm going to watching a game, but also when I'm in that stadium, mate, you damn right know that I'm going to voice my opinion. and that the whole of East Stand will voice their opinion and getting the Glazers out, and we will make this an uncomfortable atmosphere for the Glazers, mate. You know what I mean? And that's how it starts, people.
See, with all this Glazer stuff here, like people are saying in the comments, like the only way you can hurt them is financially. That's the only way. That's the only way they're gonna react to anything, because we've seen it right now. The only reason they reacted, like the only reason Sky and BT, for example, reacted to this way is because they weren't going to benefit financially. The Glazers will react when they don't benefit financially, but that's the problem. It's so hard not to make them benefit. Like, because the thing is, they're still going to fill out a 76,000 capacity.
Yeah, I know, 100%.
Oh my God,
they will have that conversation. You know what I mean? The best bit about the show has been Statman's alarm. You know what I mean? But we're gonna get some quick predictions for the game against what's it called?
Leeds.
You know what I mean? Leeds tomorrow, people. What we saying? Shall we get that quick what's it called? Team sheet out quickly before we go.
Listen, if I'm dying because of a fire, appreciate me.
You know what I mean? Statman going in for it, man. You know what I'm saying? We got super chat here. 1 second. £100 per year to watch Premier League on stream. Here in Norway, it cost me £50 per month to watch the Premier League. You're not the one sacrificing a lot. So at the end of the day, what is the actual percentage of England fans paying more to the Glazers? I don't know. You know what I mean? What I mean? Like, Adam, what is the percentage of fans just in England? 75,000 people paying tickets to the percentage of people watching it on streams and whatnot and merchandise and all that. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, man. It's you know what I mean. It's not a balancing argument, is it really? But what we're going for in there, Henderson, I'm guessing people get involved as well. People in the comments. Made a one. We've got about 500 people watching now. Get the likes up, people, man. What you man doing, man? You man are just taking a mick, yo. Get the likes up, people, man. Right back, we're going for Wan-Bissaka, ever present. You know what I mean? Never has days off. You know what I mean? That's what we should call him nowadays. Maguire, Lindelof. I'm guessing you guys are confident with that.
Yeah, one? Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw.
Yeah, Lindelof, Shaw. Yeah, absolutely. Are we saying
because this team because this one beat them last time, I'm probably going to put the McFred in there. Realistically,
you could argue the best way to beat Leeds is match them towards for the energy kind of thing. McTominay or Fred got energy for days.
That's what we did in the last game.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that works out again. You know what I mean? Pogba left again, and we put the same formation as the last time. I think that's going to work, isn't it?
You may get. I mean, he played Dan James in the corresponding fixture, didn't he, last time?
Dan James, Rashford, and Martial.
Yeah.
See, it's an interesting one, because Rashford is not going to miss out. Greenwood doesn't deserve to be dropped, and Cavani for a game like this with all Leeds' energy and
Cavani's form.
It's probably beneficial for this. And Cavani got rested last game, or he didn't start last game, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what you saying? We've had a week off, people, as well, man. Everyone in this team.
Week off. Everyone's fresh.
But the players had 2 full days off from training as well. So you know what I mean? Fresh. This is a fresh team. So I think you're going to see it's Pogba, Bruno, I think Greenwood, and then no, it's not, is it?
Actually, you see Rashford. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his news conference said he didn't train or something. But to be honest,
Rashford still might not start.
He probably will, knowing Ole. But the thing is, Ole has to be careful because Thursday is the more important game in the Europa League. And then I think on Sunday, we got Liverpool.
That looks realistic to me.
Yeah.
It does look realistic. It does look realistic. I could see Rashford coming into this team. I could see James coming into it. I won't be surprised if any one of them two came in with Ole. Like I said, I don't know about Rashford in terms of fitness and stuff like that, but it's
yeah, absolutely, man. AC, man. We're moving it. We move.
We're fully vested team, like we said. He's got a lot of options to choose from there.
Yeah. What prediction wise, you know what I mean? What we're going for? Predictions for the game. I'm gonna go for 2-2. I'm over 2-2, B.
2-2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-2 United.
3-2. I'll go with 3-1 United.
And don't forget from last week's stat, man. What did I do last week? Brought myself back into the game.
It's tight now. We all predicted United win. So now I'm on 10, Adam's on 7, Saeed's on 8. Like, you literally caught up completely.
3-1, 3-1, man. Got it.
Wait, Saeed, you went
3
2-2,
I
right?
love you.
Sorry?
You went 2-2, right?
2-2, yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, come on.
3-2
Yeah,
for me.
2-1 United, 4-0. Everyone had predicted. I think it's going to be a tricky game, you know. The second half
Oh,
against
it will.
Leeds,
It
yeah.
will.
You know what I mean? It'll be a tricky game, man. I think they'll be up for it, man. They want to
Even in
finish as
the-
high as... Yeah, go
Even
on.
in the other game, they had 17 shots against us and they had 3 big chances.
Exactly.
And even like if you're looking at the last 5 games, they're unbeaten. And in that run, they faced City, beaten them, and they've drawn against Chelsea and Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've had a week off now.
Yeah.
But
Rafinha's
I do
touch and
think-
go. Hopefully he's not there.
I think he's injured, Rafinha.
Yeah. Right then. That's the preview for the game against Leeds, even though it was about a 2-minute preview and more about the Glazers protest.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's been
actually,
there.
Let me say one
Go
more
on.
stat. Leeds have conceded the most joint most penalties in the Premier League.
Well, there you go then. You know what I mean? Hopefully
With
Bruno
eight.
can step up and do his thing. You know what I mean? But big up everybody who's tuned in right now. We're going to go check out the Arsenal protest. Adam's got a live, and I think you're going live in about 5 minutes, Adam, aren't you?
Yeah, yep. I'm talking punishments and all sorts going forward.
Go on, man. Big up to Adam. Make sure you go check out Adam Matic TV, my base on Twitter and Instagram, and obviously me, Saeed TV on all the socials, people. Make sure you get to 30K people. We're going to try and get to 30,000 people on Instagram, sorry, on YouTube hopefully by the end of April, May time. So big up everybody who's tuning in right now. Like the video and make sure you go check out 5 Yards. Link is in the description. If you haven't checked it out already, go check out the start of the video. We're discussing all the plays you can buy and sell and work out, you know what I mean, from there. So big up everybody who's tuned in right now. Make sure you go check out 5 Guys on the Twitter and on the YouTube. You get me on, check out their website as well. But people, and just enjoy your weekend, and hopefully we can get the Glazers out. Always Glazers out, everyone out, people. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.